Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Aurora Stefrak, and here I am with Translucent Truth Yoga to deliver you the weekly intuitive energy update for the week of December 6th, 2021. So welcome if you are new, and if you have been here before, welcome back. I just want to quickly make this little note so that you guys know and understand that if you find this video past December 6th, then that's totally okay, because these are timeless readings, and what that means is that I'm just channeling information, and whatever it is that you're needing the moment that you find this video, then that's exactly what's going to come through for you. Okay, so just kind of trust the process, trust yourself, trust the universe, and just kind of keep keep your eye open, keep your ears open, keep your heart open through this process, and just kind of take in the information and see how it resonates. And of course, you don't have to resonate with all of it. I want you to use your intuition first and foremost for what kind of vibes with you, and then just throw the rest out. Just kind of take what you need from it and then move on. All right. So I have a couple of notes here. We're getting into some pretty intense energy coming up, seeing as we just kind of came out of this eclipse energy. So that's the first thing I'm really going to talk about this week, because we're kind of coming out of this portal energy. So if you've kind of been paying attention to the last few weeks, then you will know that we just had a lunar eclipse back on November 19th, and then on the 4th of December, we just had a solar eclipse, okay? So we have kind of been in this portal energy, because eclipses kind of represent portals, because it's like, you know, an alignment of the planets. And what that does is it creates this energetic surge, basically a surge of energy that you know, we receive here as humans, seeing as, you know, we are the universe as well. So we also get affected by the astrological occurrences in the world, and that's why I'm so connected to the moon, because the moon is very connected to your intuition, your emotions, you know, like the water, it affects the water. So actually that's a cool thing to bring up right now if you've never thought about this. It was just 2 3 4. You know how the tides of the ocean are controlled by the moon. So we are also approximately 70% water. Who really knows? But so is the earth, and that is a good example of the micro. We are the micro, and the earth is the macrocosm, right? So micro just means small, macro just means big. So basically the whole idea of fractal reality, which is what I've gone into on previous weeks, is that the closer in to the universe or to anything that you go, it's the exact same. And then the farther out that you go, it is also the exact same thing, which is the whole idea of like the Russian nesting dolls. Like the universe is basically a giant Russian nesting doll. Yeah, so just kind of, that was cool little information that came through there for us. But yeah, like this is why connecting to the moon is so powerful. And so we're coming out of these portal energies. And so while we were in these portal energies, which really kind of take note of where you've been the last 3 weeks or so, you know, emotionally, mentally, physically. For me personally, I can feel that I need a lot more TLC with my physical body. Making sure that I'm eating enough is a huge one for me. Making sure I'm having enough water, getting enough sleep, actually fueling my physical vessel, because you know, we can live off willpower, we can live off mind power, but we definitely thrive when we nourish our physical body, right? So yeah, so that's a really big message too, is to really focus on kind of, I guess, refocus your priorities right now, because I'm just sharing my example, which is food, but it could be, you know, anything for you. And that's the whole beauty of you learning how to connect to your intuition, so that as I channel all this information, you can understand, you know, what it is that the messages are for you, and kind of what it is that isn't for you, right? So perfect. So yeah, so we just went through these portal energies. So back on the lunar eclipse, we were anchoring new templates and we were connecting back to the rhythmic heartbeat of the universe, okay? So this is huge, guys. Like, I know I come on here every week and I'm like, oh yeah, so this is what's going on and whatever, whatever. But like, to realize the place in the evolutionary path of human consciousness and where we're at right now, like we are on the precipice of awakening as a collective, which is so huge, which is why there's going to be more and more people being activated spiritually, because it's like this whole idea of 100th monkey syndrome. Okay, so basically, once I was going to explain the whole experiment, but I don't feel like it. Basically, once a certain capacity of the collective has a certain awareness, it kind of ripples like exponentially, right? So it's like once a certain amount of information and knowledge is kind of programmed into the collective, meaning each individual one of us creates the whole, right? So that's why us doing our healing work right now is so powerful and so potent, and it will only cause ease and grace in the future so that you can really move through the stuff that's about to be coming right now. Again, I don't know exactly what is going to be happening, especially with winter coming here up in the north. So back to preparation, making sure that you have, enough water at your house, enough food for, say even there's something that happens like in BC where they had, a lot of different natural disasters happening. And so, like they were shut down. There was whole parts of the areas that they couldn't get to. Nobody could come and go. So this is why, like, you just never know what is going to happen. So that's a big message right now from Source, and I'm getting goosebumps as I say it. And so I need to take my own advice as well and really start preparing for this, for anything, not for this. There really isn't nothing that we're preparing for, but to really have that conscious awareness of, like kind of like preparing yourselves for even just a week or two of extra food and stuff like that, so that you're able to, if something does close down or if we can't do this or something does happen, then you are prepared, right? Because it's so important, and it really just takes, a little bit of planning to really succeed in this time, right? So really just slowing down and preparing and really listening. That's really the main thing, because it's like, well, what the hell, Aurora? Like, what do I get? What do you mean? Now I'm freaking out. Now I'm in fear mode. No, like that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying to be afraid or anything. I'm just saying to have the awareness that it is a possibility. And so then you have to ask yourself, ask the universe, hey, can you guide me? In case I need anything, what should I get? Should I get water? Should I get rice and beans? Like what is it that works for you, right? That is going to be non-perishable, that you can have, and that you can easily make even without any electricity even too, right? I don't know, like this goes next level and beyond, but just do what you can with what you have is basically the gist of it. But just really have the awareness things may happen, and that's totally out of our control. So what is in our control is to prepare for anything to happen. Expect the unexpected. I'm going to write that down. I like that one. Okay, so back to these the eclipses and the portal energy. Oh shoot. What was that? Okay. You're still recording, so it's fine. Okay. Sorry, my phone gave me a notification and I was like, uh-oh. Yeah, okay, so back to these portal energies, right? So the lunar eclipse, it was, all about us anchoring our new templates and connecting to the rhythmic heartbeat of the universe. And then 2 weeks after that, on December 4th, we had the solar eclipse, which was only just a couple of days ago on Saturday. And it was basically an energetic reset, right? So in the lunar eclipse, we were really purging a lot emotionally. We were kind of like being able to recalibrate and really learn how to connect to ourselves and our own rhythms and our own cycles. And then the solar eclipse really like gave us the momentum behind that emotional purging that we had just done. Okay, so it's like now that we have gone through this eclipse season, of course we're still in the energy of that solar eclipse. I'm not really 936. It was 936 infinite potential. So Anyway, I have a whole language with the universe. So when I say numbers or I say different things, if you don't understand what I'm saying, that's totally okay. You can always learn and grow and create your own dialogue with the universe, right? And that's all that it is. I've just created a language that I understand with the universe. Um, okay, so the solar eclipse, an energetic reset. So connecting back to our true nature, our curiosity, and our learning. Okay, so really being activated into our childlike innocence again, and our sense of adventure, and that's that Sagittarius energy, right? So like that was we kind of purged all that emotionally with that Taurus, the Taurus lunar eclipse, helping us ground into our reality and new templates. And then with the solar eclipse, we had an energetic reset, and that was in Sagittarius energy, right? And so that energy really influenced us to really lighten up a little bit and to really connect back to our true nature, which is bliss, even though that is not the way it looks out there. Our divine template is actually made for to feel good, basically. And when you're not feeling good, then you're trapped in some type of trauma, some type of experience that kind of, your consciousness kind of fractaled off of that, of like your reality. Okay, that wasn't the best way to deliver it. Basically, trauma is when there's a part of us that gets left in time and space, basically, right? And so something happens to us, we get traumatized from it, and then we kind of lose that part of ourselves. We lose a part of ourselves in that moment in time. And that's the beautiful thing about reclaiming our power back through healing, is by going to that place, going to the place that, really hurt you or really upset you, or where, you were mistreated, or whatever the situation is for you, to be able to revisit that and to see it from a higher perspective, and to take the lessons and leave that pain and empower yourself through that experience, to realize that you are not a victim, to realize that you have full capacity to take your power back. It's just nobody's ever taught you how to do that, right? Everything in the world is focused on making you feel small, on making you feel worthless, on making you think that you need all these things outside of you, and it was just 12-12. And that's just not the truth, right? So I really this week's really connecting to our inner truth again, okay? And that's what all this is about, right? Connecting to our true nature. Our true nature is giving. Our true nature is love. It's just we're all traumatized. We've all been hurt somewhere, and hurt people hurt people. So then the whole world's just hurting each other over and over again without anybody saying, wait a minute, stop this. Why are we doing this still? Why have we not evolved past this emotional immaturity around, even just men being able to feel feelings, to me, I've been on this path for a long time. It feels like forever and infinite. But I've been on this healing path for a while, and I've really learned that, as a man, you're not allowed to feel your feelings. And I think that is just so crazy. And I really want to usher in the new age by really holding space for everybody, not just men, but, children, women, everybody, whatever it is that you need help with, you need a space so that you can actually process that and go through that, right? And so that's kind of what our guides are guiding us to right now, is to create that space. And that's exactly why I opened up my space here in Petrolia, is because there is nowhere for people to go to feel safe, to feel heard, and to feel seen, right? And that is my life. I thrive when I'm helping people, when I'm of service, when I'm able to do the smallest gesture and change someone's entire day. To me, that is life. That's what I'm here for. I'm genuine. I'm here to, evolve human consciousness to a level of, really emotional maturity, so that we're able to make conscious decisions from a higher place, from a higher awareness, instead of getting all triggered up in all the emotions and stuff. All right, so that is basically the portal energy that we're coming out of, right? And so everything I just talked about, we're anchoring that in now. So it's like something happens, and then we have to integrate it. And integration is a big thing that a lot of people don't understand about, healing, in the healing journey, or on the spiritual path, or whatever words that you want with it, is you actually need to give yourself the time to integrate whatever it is that you've just, allowed into your body. There's always going to be, like, sometimes, when, say, for 1 week you're like exhausted and you're like, I can't fucking do this anymore. What the heck? How am I going to function feeling like this? And this is when we connect to the rhythmic heartbeat of the universe, our rhythmic heartbeat, and we ask, what's going on? And we inquire and we ask the questions and we say, hey, are you okay? Is everything okay? Look at yourself in the mirror and look into your eyes and say, hey, what's going on? What do you need from me right now? This is what is going to help you to move through whatever it is that you're going through right now, because we always have to do the best with what we have. And when you think that you need something that you don't already have, you're creating more resistance to what is in front of you right now. And so when we can just choose to surrender to this moment, and we can say, I am ready to look my shadow in the eyes. I am ready to realize what it is that I have hidden from myself, that I have hidden from people around me. The truth, I guess, is really being revealed this week, by the sounds of what is coming through my mouth, right? So really speaking our truth from our heart space, though, right? It's like, it's one thing to speak your truth, but it is coming through our heart, right? And so that's kind of what we're purifying right now. Okay, so this is what energy we're in as we are coming out of this portal energy. I mean, eclipse energy, sorry. Same thing, but this eclipse energy. Okay, so as we're coming out of this eclipse energy, all the work that we've done in the last 3 weeks, whether conscious or unconscious, because again, all of this is happening whether we have the awareness of it or not, right? Like, you just happen to meet somebody in the last couple weeks that totally changed your life, or you made a connection, or you let go of some connections, right? Like, there's so many things that have probably happened in the last 3 weeks, and really bring awareness to that so that you can see what it is that's leaving your life. And what happens is when we allow things to leave our lives, we create space, okay? Space is created, and we are able to fill that space consciously. I choose what comes in and out of my boundary, right? I choose if this is allowed in my life or not. And that's when we become the true conscious creator of our reality. When we can stop living from our wounded space, our subconscious mind, the parts of ourselves that we are afraid of, or that we are ashamed of, or that we've had hidden for so long. This is the whole idea of going to talk to a priest, or is that what it is? I don't know. When you go and do confessions and stuff at the church, this is the whole idea. Get it off your chest. Well, this is a truly safe space. I have no ill intention. I have only love to offer, and it's all confidential. So if you come in here for a reading, if you come in here to buy crystals, if you come in and you want to open up your heart and share a few things with me, this is the place to do it. This is the place. My whole life I've heard people say to me, I can't believe I'm telling you this. I've never told anybody this. And it became so normal in my world. I just thought that was normal. I thought, why does everybody lie to me? Like, why did they say that, But then I realized, oh no, it's actually just me and my energy and my unconditionality of non-judgment and just allowing for people to be, So, we're really cultivating these safe spaces, because right now there's a lot of places in the world that not a lot of people feel safe. And so, really focusing on community and allowing for people to just connect and to, have their truth, but to not be wavered by that, to not be affected by that. And the way that you don't get affected by other people is by simply standing in your power and knowing your truth, right? Because when you know your truth, nobody else's truth can bother you, because they're allowed to have their truth. They're allowed to speak it. They're allowed to have their own thoughts and beliefs. They are also a participating, part of consciousness that has things it needs to experience and evolve into. So it's really not our place to judge. It's really not our place to tell people how to live their lives, but it is our place when it comes to our reality, to what is happening in our lives and where we can take our power back. So that's beautiful. So that's all the energy that we're coming out of for this from this eclipse energy. Okay, so now I'm going to get to my list that I have. I have about 5 things I want to talk about. So yeah. Okay, so the first thing that I have here is connecting back to source. So I just want to talk to anybody that's listening right now to explain what is source. And then I have in brackets God, okay? And that is a loaded word, so I'm not going to use the word because words, they're really interesting when you really start going down into rabbit holes and understanding the origin of words, the etymology, why people say what they say, what it meant in this time era versus what it means now, all these different things. And so the word God kind of got hijacked, okay? It kind of got hijacked to an inorganic template. And what I mean by that is that the people that chose to use this word to describe the energy that I'm about to explain to you, they kind of, what's the best way to say this delicately? They made it impure, okay? That's all I'm going to say. They made it impure, okay? And so this is the, that would be the inorganic template, okay? Anything with impurities, that would be the inorganic template. And so these beings that existed as humans and that have helped us evolve in our consciousness, again, no negative feelings towards what has happened to where we're at now. But the reality of it is that it's been hijacked. They hijacked this word God, when really it is such a beautiful and divine thing. It's an energy. And what happens is that they kind of demonized God and kind of created this image to project fear onto a very large collective of humanity. And that was not the purpose. That was not the purpose for, the information that was delivered. That the purpose was exactly what I'm doing right now, to help humanity evolve, to help them find themselves, to help them empower themselves, to help them speak their truth, to empower them. But then there are these other energies that are at play that are kind of, they have the same knowledge and they're actually hiding all the secrets, where I don't want to hide secrets from you. I want you to know everything. These beings that are more self-serving, they keep all the secrets, they keep all the formulas and the secret sauces, and then they think that they're God, and they create this inorganic template of humans following, getting taught certain things, and then it getting into our psyches, into our minds, living from a place of fear, all these things. This is not God. Okay, and even the word God, I used to have a lot of resistance to as well, because I was like, oh my God, here we go, right? But no, I've cultivated my own relationship to that word now and what it means to me. Okay, so what is source? Source is basically the center of the universe, of all universes, of the multiverse, of everything, okay? So it is the center because this is where we all come from. Everything is made of source. Everything is source, whether it's my phone, whether it's a cat, whether it's a dog, whether it's your car, it doesn't matter. Everything is source. The entire reality is just source, right? So another word you can use for it would be the universe, right? But even that, the universe is kind of separate from source, from this place where everything comes, because it's like its own entity. Like, we live in a universe that is, I mean, of course we're connected to source still, but we're not at source still, if that makes sense. We're far from source right now, which is why we have so much diversity, because source is basically the unified field, okay? So the unified field is basically where everything is one. You're at that perspective where everything is one, right? And you sound like all the hippies and stuff that say, yeah, we're all one, love and peace, like that kind of vibe. That's source energy coming through them, Whenever you connect to your inner child, source is like an ancient, like it has ancient wisdom, but it has a childlike nature as well. So it's like it has the mother maiden crone and the masculine side of it, what's the masculine side? Stag. Anyway, whatever the masculine side is, and then also the child, so also the trinity of the mother, the father, and the son, right? So basically it's the unified field. This is where it has everything contained within it, right? And so it's the place of creation, basically. And so we have the capacity to actually connect to this space of creation. And so when I was talking a couple weeks ago about the planetary alignments happening, where the sun, our sun, is aligning with the greater central sun. So by the way, the greater central sun, that is source. Okay, if you look at it on a map, you can on a map, I mean, I don't have access to this map, but I have seen it. I don't know where the information is, but I have seen it, and where it is, like, that's the center. And then you have all these suns, because again, that micro and that macro template of the universe, right? So we are just, so say this is source, and we're out here being humans on earth, learning the diversity of what it is to be human and to be on this beautiful, abundant planet. And we're finding our way back to source, back to our purity, back to our true nature, right? Back to our authenticity, back to our truth, right? And so source is the unified field, okay? So when we can connect into this higher understanding, and connect to source. So source is also our energy, right? So the sun is a portal from source to us, and we receive energy. We receive light codes straight from the sun, straight from source, right? Through that portal. And so that's why, I say eat the sun, because when you are giving yourself all the nourishment from, things that have high sun content, just meaning, like fruits and vegetables and high vibrational foods, nuts, seeds, different things like that. When we can eat more nutrient dense food, that's when we're going to evolve at a higher rate as well, because we're actually supporting our physical vessel to be able to transmute all this pain and suffering that we have actually held in our body from different lifetimes. Okay, so that is source. Source is unconditionality. Source is everything and nothing all at the same time. It's pure potentiality, okay? So, meaning pure potentiality is everything and nothing at the same time, because it has the potential to be everything, but it also has the potential to be nothing. So what is it going to be? It's pure potentiality, right? So which is how we ended up here, because the universe is basically a giant video game, and we're just playing our part, we're just playing our part. Okay, so reconnecting back to the unified field. So that's why I brought source up, was so that I can explain to you guys how we kind of connect to other people, connect to other things, connect to something outside of ourselves, trying to connect to source, which is within us, okay? Because we are it. Remember I said everything is source? We are also source. We are just separate from source right now, and we're learning how to reconnect to source, okay? So basically what happens is there's a lot of energy vampires in this reality, and unconsciously, okay? It's not that they're like, oh, I want to suck your energy out of you. No. It's like, are you hanging around somebody, and after you hang out with them, you're like, whoa, like I feel freaking exhausted and I need to go sleep for 10 days. Or you hang out with someone else and you're like, oh my God, like I feel amazing. I'm high on life. Everything's great. So where are you getting your energy from? Do you exercise? Do you eat well? Are you filling your cup, or are you taking from other people's cup type thing, right? And I'm here to teach you how to connect to source. So you open up your crown and you can literally connect to source, to higher beings, to your spirit guides, right? And then that is your intuition also. So when you learn to channel this energy, when you learn to connect to this energy and to consciously anchor it into your vibration, into your field, it's like the life just like becomes brighter. It becomes more enjoyable. People that are experiencing depression, they do not have access to any life force energy because their crown chakra is so closed, and that's why it's depressing them. Believe me, I have spent most of my life depressed, okay? So I understand this very intimately. And so when we are depressed and our crown chakra is closed, it feels like, I used to explain it as my brain was being juiced. I just said, oh my God, my brain's being juiced. I can't handle this anymore. So what I have learned over time is to open my crown. So you can even open it like with your hands. You don't even have to touch your head, actually. You can just sit here and open your crown and set the intention that your crown is being opened and connecting straight to source, okay? Straight to this pure potentiality, to your pure potentiality. And then you get these things called downloads. And it's when you receive information, because we're just radio receivers and transmitters, right? So like you receive this information and it'll be like an aha moment. It'll feel like it came out of thin air, like, oh my God, where did this amazing idea come from? I always give the credit to source, because I know, oh great, source is so awesome. Like anything I create, anything that I do, I'm just a conduit. I am just an instrument, if you will, and I allow the universe to play me basically in the best way possible, right? And so I've attuned myself, right? You have to tune a guitar, you have to tune a piano, you have to tune everything that is a musical instrument, right? And if it's not tuned, then it won't be right. It won't sound right. It won't do what it's supposed to do. It's the same as our physical vessel. We are an instrument for source to work through us, for this higher consciousness to work through us. And also in that process, we learn to be of service. We learn how to not be so self-serving, because we understand the nature of reality is abundance, right? We're not programmed into lack anymore. When you can connect to source and you are flowing infinitely, there is no such thing as lack. I mean, of course there is, right? But it's a mindset, right? It's a mindset, and it's about connecting more consciously to the abundant reality that we live in, right? So that is connecting back to source and the unified field, okay? And that is also the heart center. That's what I just heard. So it's like you have the division. When we're in our head, we have the left brain and we have the right brain. Right there even shows you that we have this separation, okay? So we go from our head space to our heart space. This is the portal to source. Your heart is the portal to source, okay? So whatever it is that you're carrying in there, this is where we need to learn to hold space for ourselves, to really be able to listen and to open up and to be guided by our spirit guides, by our higher self, even by source, the universe, God, you know, all these beautiful words. Okay, so the next thing I have, which I'm gonna do my best to get through these pretty quick because I have already said a lot and I do really want to pull cards as well. So I have the masculine energy is being activated. So the masculine energy is, especially for this week, I have protection energy, okay? So, and Archangel Michael's like, yo, tell him about me. So Archangel Michael is the protector, okay? So he protects each and every one of us. But the thing is that we have free will and you have to ask for help. So this is a lesson for you. If you're not good at asking for help, which most of us aren't, this is you learning how to ask for help from the spiritual realm. So you say, Archangel Michael of 100% pure love and light, can you please be with me to protect me? I've white lighted my car my whole life. That's just something my mom taught me to do, was like, you know, protect yourself, make sure you're protected. So I would call in my guides and I would just naturally, of course it wasn't as conscious as it is now, but I had to learn, or I had realized that this is what I just naturally did anyway, right? So the masculine protection energy is being activated, and this is going to create this safe space for the feminine and for the children and for spirit. So the feminine, our children, and spirit, this is all technically feminine energy, right? Because the masculine is just the physical energy, the physicality of our reality, and then the feminine is everything that fills it. It is the life force energy, okay? Which is why the feminine has been demonized and why spirit has been demonized, is because that is our connection to source. So they don't want us to be connected to source, but you know, it's inevitable because we have free will, and I'm telling you, it's just a way more beautiful life. So yeah, so that's all I'm really going to say. I actually am not getting anything else for that. So the masculine and the protection energy is being activated. So I'm hearing that I'll talk about that more in a later week, but I'm just not getting anything right now. But I want you to have that awareness, okay? And this is for us. This is for the feminine. This is for the children. This is so that we can create a beautiful, safe space for us to really freaking anchor in our community, so that we can move forward with healing energy and with healing hands, instead of with blood on our hands. We're cleaning up. We're cleaning up the mess. Okay. No, cool. I actually already mentioned this. So acclimating to our newfound spiritual awareness. So that's the next point that I have. So acclimating to our newfound spiritual awareness. Okay. And so this is through connecting to source, right? When you learn to connect to source, when you learn to connect to your higher self, your soul, your spirit, your guides, this allows for you to basically enter into another realm, into another world. And then what happens is you kind of have to strengthen your muscles to connect to the spiritual realms. And then what happens, so you realize you experience them as separately, right? Because you're human, I'm being human, I'm unconscious, I don't know what I'm doing. And then we ask for guidance and we say, I would really like to receive guidance, I would really like some help. And then that starts coming in, and then you start realizing, holy shit, what is this world I just tapped into? What's going on? Like, how did this all just happen right in front of me? And so then you will start to create a dialogue, right? Which is what I was saying earlier about the numbers and stuff like that. Because the universe is also basically just a giant holograph, right? And so, because all is mind, so it's all a projection. And it's also all mathematics. It has to have a science to it. It has to have an order to it, right? And so numbers are very direct communicators, right? So if you're like, seeing 1111 a lot, that's, a representation of people waking up. They start waking up. Also 911 is another one for waking up, right? And then if you see 1 2 3 4, that could represent forward movement. Or if you see 111 or 222 or 1 2 3 4 or 555, these all have meanings, okay? And so this is part of us educating ourselves on the universe, on awakening, and what that really means. So as we have our own path and we're guided by our own path, you can, oh, by the way, you can look up spiritual meaning of 111 or spiritual meaning of 222 or 1 2 3 4, and usually it'll break it down into numerology, which is a science, and then it'll give you, once you learn what each number represents and what energy it holds, then you can start really creating a stronger dialogue with understanding how the universe is communicating to you. And you will start seeing them everywhere. You'll see them on license plates, you'll see it in phone numbers, you'll see it on your receipts, you'll see it everywhere, like it doesn't matter where. Like, you're just going to start seeing the numbers because you're attuning to the frequency, to the higher frequencies. So it's really, 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 it's a really fun time of awakening. Really, it is. Learning and growing and being curious and asking questions and realizing that there's all these worlds that you had no idea about, that you're now ready to access, right? So it's really, really cool. So yes, we're acclimating to our newfound spiritual awareness, okay? And so that will show up in many different ways. Awakening is a very painful process because we have to realize that we've kind of been living a lie, that we've kind of been living a life that is not fulfilling, and that we are getting our energy siphoned, and we have to awaken to a lot of harsh truths. Okay, so as much as I get all excited, it's also a very painful process, okay? And so that's also why I'm here, to help people through it and support it, because I've had a lot of support in my path, but a lot of it was solo. A lot of it was alone in my own consciousness, understanding how the mind works, how the psyche works, how everything works, right? Asking questions, finding the answers, which then when you find the answers to the questions you have, it only creates more questions, right? And so that's the rabbit hole that Alice fell down, right? So we are acclimating to our newfound spiritual awareness, okay? And then, the Alchemist template is being activated as well. Yay! So it's like templates being activated this week. So the Alchemist template is being activated, transmuting our shadow into light, okay? And that's kind of what I just was talking about, the painful process of awakening, okay? And so we do have to go through our shadow. If you suppress your shadow, then you just create more shadow, right? You have to acknowledge it. You have to bring it to the light. You have to bring your awareness to it to be able to shed it. So the Alchemist template is being activated, and what that means, anything to do with alchemy, is turning something into something else, or it could be turning nothing into something, or it could be, processing your sadness or your anger or whatever emotion that you have, and empowering yourself through that, through understanding the language of your emotion, right? Through being like, oh, anger means that I've had a boundary breached, okay? So where do I need to implement stronger boundaries? That would be the next question, right? It's like, oh wow, I'm really angry. Okay, so why are you angry? Because anger means that a boundary is being breached. So where in your life are you, allowing people to walk on you? And it's not a conscious thing. It's just that you've unconsciously allowed it, and people will treat you. You teach them how to treat you, right? And so, the more you empower yourself and the more that you realize, hold up, like, I'm not living like this anymore. I'm choosing to speak my truth, and I'm choosing to love myself through all of my pain and suffering, which not a lot of people do. So you will empower yourself and then live in empowering lives, and then the ripple happens, right? So this Alchemist template is being activated, where we have the power to turn the darkness into the light, okay? Because the darkness is the light. Satan is a fallen angel too, right? So yes, our Alchemist template is being activated. Nice. And then last but not least, I have a cord cutting ceremony. I highly recommend a cord cutting ceremony, okay? Releasing and purging to connect back to source, okay? So I'm going to teach you guys a little technique real quick. And it's super simple. It's super simple, but whenever you do cord cutting, you have to send it back to source, because what happens is that energy has its own, its own path. So say I have an entity on me, say I have some negative energy in my system, and I want to cut that cord and I want to release it from me. And this is where working with the archangels is really helpful too. When you do your cord cutting and when you do this spiritual work, you call in your spiritual helpers, which Archangel Raphael is the healer, Archangel Michael is the protector, and Archangel Raphael, no, I already said that, is the healer. Metatron, Archangel Metatron, these are my three main squeezes that I deal with, that I work with, that come and help me to clear my field and do everything that I need to do. And so the Metatron is our spiritual awakening and our spiritual understanding. So he is spiritual knowledge, okay? So if there's things that are happening and you don't understand them, you can call on Archangel Metatron to guide you through understanding what is happening. All right, so let's get to cord cutting. So step one, always connect to your breath. For me, I always connect to my breath. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. Whenever I start something, I start with connecting to my breath, because breath is life and breath connects you to source. So when you can learn to connect to your breath, then you can connect to source, okay? Or that's one avenue to connect to source, through your physical vessel, through attuning this instrument. Okay, so cord cutting. All right, so basically, this is what you do with your hands when you want to cut cords, okay? So you take your hands and you imagine, you visualize grabbing all these cords, okay? So you're pulling them together. And then you take your one hand and you kind of pretend you're still benching up the cords, and you take your other hand and you cut that in half. Okay, so you cut that cord. You say, no more, I'm cutting this cord. Break the cord. Break it. Say, fuck that, no more. Okay, so what is it? This. Throw it away. Throw it away. Throw it away. Get it the fuck out of your field. Throw it away. And then you take your fingers, you take your hands, and you do this circular motion, and you close up that breakage, and you're basically sending it back to source as you're doing this. So you grab the cords, you cut the cords, you break the cords, you throw the cords away, and then you fill it with white light, okay? You fill it with white light and you send it back to source. And that is how you cord cut. So say And then you do that over and over again, okay? So you do that same thing over and over until you feel your energy lighten. So I recommend you close your eyes and you connect to your breath and you call in your archangels of 100% pure love and light. Please be with me now to help clear my field, to cut cords. I do not want to carry this baggage anymore that does not serve me. So all cords, you can specifically say it. So for a person, for a thing, for whatever it is, to get this out of your morphogenic field, your energetic field, and release it. Or you can just do a general where you're like, okay, I just want to clear any cords that are kind of pulling on me right now that I'm unaware of, but that I don't want here. Okay, so again, I'm just going to do it. Let's do it 5 times, okay? So I connect to my breath. Archangel Michael of 100% pure love and light, can you please be with me now to protect my field as I go through this clear cutting, cord cutting process. So I grab the cords, I cut the cords, I break the cords, I throw them away, and I fill that with white light. Okay, and then grab the cords, cut the cords, break the cords, throw them away, fill it with white light. And grab the cords and break the cords. Sorry, cut the cord and break the cord and throw it away and fill it with white light. And then you grab the cord, you cut the cord, you break the cord, you throw it away, and you fill it with white light. Okay, let's do one more. And you grab the cord, you cut the cord, you break the cord, you throw the cord away, and then you fill it with white light. Okay, without me speaking, I'm just going to do a couple so that you can kind of see the process without anything being said, okay? And then to kind of close it off, if you have any sage, if you have any Palo Santo, if you have crystals, if you have any energy clearing tools, that is what you use. You can bring in the crystals, you can bring in the sage, the Palo, the sweetgrass, whatever it is that you have, that you use, some cedar, you know, whatever, anything. Bring it in and set the intention that as you burn it, you burn those cords away. Like right now, my third eye is so wide open right now. Like everything is so bright and it's just like, yeah, it's just so beautiful. So that is how you cut cords, okay? If you don't know how to do it, that's it. And then you can do it as fast as you want. I recommend doing it slow at first so that you get that pattern down. And then once you pattern that into your body will just be able to do it. Like it's almost like light language, right? Like clearing out things. And then your hands are healing hands. So they have great power to be able to pull energies off of you. I used to do this a lot when I was working in customer service, and I would have really nasty negative people come up to me, and then instead of letting it ruin my day and me kind of you know, overflowing that negative energy onto the next person, you know, I chose to consciously clear my field and go, no, thank you, I don't want to entertain that. And just as I said that, I got goosebumps, right? So yeah, that's all that I have for this week from my notes, which is a lot as usual. I always think like I don't have that much, but I always have so much to say. So let me see what decks we're going to use this week. I've really been liking the fairy deck for the energy updates. We'll go beyond Lemuria. Oh yeah, we're going to get into some deep stuff because I picked all deep decks. Okay, so let's see. Ooh, ow, let me crack my back real quick. I just got a little bit of a little twitch. Okay. Whew. All right, I'm back. All right, we're gonna start with the fairy deck, guys. See what comes out for this week ahead. I'm just gonna open all these so that I can already have them ready for me. Yeah, that's the main one, guys, is connecting back to source, connecting back to your divine template, allowing God back in. God, not the program God, like the true essence of God back in, which is love. It's unconditional love, guys. It's so beautiful. Okay. So, let's see. We have this beautiful fairy deck here. Fairy Tarot by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. They all be falling. We got 3 cards out so far. Okay, I'm going to start with the bottom of the deck. King of Spring, innovative, inspiring, wise, and theatrical. A financial windfall. Your leadership skills are needed now. An unexpected supporter of your cause. Okay. So I haven't talked any finances. Here, what if I go in and then pull out? Like that. No, still doesn't work. Whatever, I tried. Okay, so I haven't talked any finances, but I did talk about it during the portal energy. So I guess this is just to kind of touch base on it and keep doing what you're doing. Keep trusting, keep processing, keep asking yourself if it is a job or something like that, then quit the fucking job. Like, move on to the next thing already. This is what Source is saying. Like, and I don't mean to sound insensitive sometimes, but when one door closes, a million can open, right? And so you never know what the universe has in store for you. You have to trust. Now, of course, there's the logical side of it where it's like, don't just go quit your job because Aurora said so. No, like, please trust your intuition and know exactly what it is for you and what's best for you. 5 of Winter, walk away from dishonest associations, realizing what you thought you wanted isn't the best choice for your happiness, something that is not worth the effort, right? Exactly. Is your health, is your safety, is everything worth a little bit of financial security? Because you can't get your health back, guys. Once this is done, this is done. So there is some good financial energy coming. We just have to keep anchoring in the frequencies, our higher spiritual energies, because everything manifests from the from the energetic realms, right? And so if we deal with the energy before it reaches physical manifestation, it won't reach physical manifestation, right? Okay, King of Summer, honorable, devoted, mature, and warm-hearted. A romantic partner you can trust. Excellent advice that comes from the heart and getting involved in a cultural or creative endeavor. Okay, so again, more masculine. This is 3 masculine energies. Wow. Wow, and I didn't even talk about the masculine, so it's coming up. Look, guys, 5 of Winter, masculine. King of Spring, masculine. King of Summer, masculine. Okay, let's see what else fell out. Then we have the Queen of Spirit. Spirit, oh my God, Spring. Brilliant, loyal, talented, and friendly. Believe in yourself. Wonderful people want to help you. Maintain a balance between work and home life. Yes, so again, there's this pull. There's this big pull between finances and security this week, guys, that we have to have an awareness of, and we have to come at it from a different perspective, a different one than we've ever have, and it's called trust. Trust? How am I supposed to trust? How do I pay my bills on trust? Well, that's when you start working in the spiritual realms. This is why we're being activated, so that we can call in the help, that we can say, hey, can you please guide me to be exactly where I need to be at the right time, so that the right things happen for me, so that I can get a job where if you don't want to get V'd and they're making you get V'd, then you just quit that job and another door will open for you. It's really not that hard. I know, like, it is at the same time, but you know, like, believe in yourself, right? Like, that's just what this card was. Believe in yourself, right? Like, allow that feminine energy of trust and faith to come through you. And then we have 9 of Summer, wishes come true, dreams fulfilled, and a magical time of life. Wow, I don't know. Like, these are all so positive and amazing. And then 4 of Summer, being distracted and failing to see a magical opportunity, taking someone or something for granted, and a discontent with life. Okay, so just as I say that, we get this card. So this is kind of our reality check card, okay? So if you're really struggling right now, and if you're really unsure of which way to go or what direction that is best for you, then you're being asked to really like slow down and to not be distracted from everything going on around you and to really connect to your own intuition, not to your mind, to your heart. What is best for me? I am ready to listen to my heart. I am ready to be guided by the universe, right? And so, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff happening this week. But then again, it's like, do you see it? Do you notice it? Or are you too busy focusing on the negativity or being distracted by different things, right? I'm going to get one more from this deck. Four of Autumn. Manage your resources wisely. Achieve a balance in how you spend and save money. Help out those who are less fortunate. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And then we have the Empress. Time to take action. The power of creativity. Success that allows for a life of luxury. Guys, like I can't even, like how many times do I have to say abundance, right? Abundance is right here. And then the Magician is you can do anything. Take charge of your life. You can manifest what you need to be a success. Exactly. Become the magician. Tap in to the spirit world that is right there to support you. And they just keep going. I'm sorry, guys. Two of Winter. Indecision is holding you back. Make the choice that's best for you rather than trying to please others. Feeling trapped between the intellectual and the emotional. And I'm telling you, listen to the emotional. That is your intuition. That is your soul guiding you. So trust what it is that you're hearing. And then I wanted to end it on this because it's the Emperor and we already had the Empress. And so massive masculine and feminine energies are being anchored right now. The balance of the two, the Kundalini rising, our Merkaba, all masculine and feminine energies are coming into balance right now. Use logic and structure to increase your success. Get organized. A firm but compassionate leader. Okay, so we're listening to our emotions, but we're also listening to our logical mind. So it's like finding that balance, and that's that magician energy coming through, right? Okay, they just keep coming. I gotta flip it back over so that I don't keep seeing them because... Okay, Ace of Autumn, a windfall of money, advice, or assistance from others, a very successful project, and a happy change in your career. Oh my God, guys, like this is so perfect. Princess of Winter, inquisitive, truthful, realistic, and undiplomatic. Information that can help you, but which may also be difficult to hear. Speaking the truth with kindness, an indigo child or adult. Okay, so that is what we are stepping into, our indigo, our third eye and crown energy, connecting to our spiritual beings. Inquisitive, truthful, realistic, and undiplomatic. Okay, that was beautiful. All right, amazing. Thanks, fairies. Thanks, fairies, for being so awesome. All right, let's get into the Lightworker Oracle here because this one is usually pretty intense. This is one of my favorite decks to do readings for people with because I like to get to the point, the point of why you come to me or what you need help with. So I like to just, you know, get a straight shot into your shadow with these cards. So let's get a straight shot with the collective, or for anybody that hears this at any time, remember, okay, those two want to come out. Second ray of wisdom and trust in the plan. Guys, look at her being supported by her higher self. This is what is happening right now. Trust in the plan. There's that 13 again, okay? That is, 13 is like the, it's the divine feminine number. It is, there's 13 moon cycles, and the moon is connected to the divine feminine, especially because she's connected to emotion and water and all of that, right? Spirituality. Our spirituality, like our emotional power and capacity, right? Okay, so trust in the plan and the second ray of wisdom. And I'm being reminded of when I just was talking about emotional maturity. So this is all part of it. Emotional maturity is coming through right now, not through a card, just through my own consciousness right now. So we're going to get a little bit more clarity around this emotional maturity process. So that's the key of light. Yeah, exactly. That is the key. Yes. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Source. And spiritual decree. Perfect. So spiritual commitment, okay? Spiritual connection. Really realizing that our emotions are our power, right? And it's like that's the wisdom too, right? Like to be able to tap into that feminine energy, and we are able to tap into it. We have to learn to trust in the plan, connect to our spiritual selves. The key of light is kind of showing me like your keys. What are your keys to your kingdom, right? Your physical vessel, your mind, your psyche, your emotions, all of it. What is the key to unlock these aspects of you? And it is your spiritual commitment. It is to say, okay, I am a spiritual being, have a human experience, and I need to connect more to my spiritual self. Perfect paradigm shift, and it was reversed, okay? So this will be obviously, reprogramming our mind and, going through all of our beliefs, and all this process of healing is not easy. So it is reversed. And then paradigm shift's also a 4. So that's all about foundations. Changing our foundation. So spiritual service, like we are being activated into our spiritual warrior. Okay, like this is amazing. But this is why you have to learn to say no. You have to put up a boundary. You have to know your beliefs. You have to know your truth and know your power, so that when you feel that energy, when your body, when your intuition says fuck no, you're gonna listen to it. And when it says fuck yeah, you're gonna listen to it, okay? Because it is literally like, there's this thing called muscle testing, okay? If you've never heard of it, it's just a modality to use your body as the instrument that it is to tell you the truth from the not truth, okay? So basically, some people will stand there and they'll ask a question, and when they go forward it means yes, and when they go backwards it means no. And I mean, there's so many different types of muscle testing that you can do. There's another one where you link your fingers together and it's like, my name is Aurora, and it's like, my name is Joe, right? And you can't unlock it. So it's like, I don't know, do I have a pink sweater on? Do I have a blue sweater on? And like, you're actually your body. Like, that's not me like playing with you guys. Like, that's actually just my body. Like, right now I'm not asking questions, so that's just me messing. But it's like, is my sweater pink? Oh, I almost got it through because I was trying to show you guys that that's not me. Is my sweater blue? And it just slips. Like, that's just literally like the body's response, okay, of truth and not truth. So you can do this. Now, of course, you also need to trust and surrender to the intelligence of your body as well. Okay. Dark night of the soul. Exactly. So this is the awakening. If you are very depressed, if you are really struggling right now, you're not dying, you're waking up. This is Elizabeth April's book I just quoted, but it's so perfect because you're not dying, you're waking up, you're awakening. And I already said earlier that the awakening process is very painful. It's a painful process because we actually have to die on an energetic and an emotional level, not necessarily a physical level. But, and then look, alchemical mutation coming through as well. So just confirmation that, through our dark night of the soul, you are becoming the alchemist of your own reality. And then, beautiful, beautiful, yes, beautiful way to freaking end that. And then I just want to show you this card too, because the key of light. Okay, so we have the key of light, and then we have earth healing, and it's basically the same card. One of them is to the heavens, and the other is on earth, right? So this is the merging between the physical and the spiritual realms. Okay. So that was beautiful. Thank you, Lightworker Oracle deck. And now we have the Beyond Lumeria here. So what is coming through from our ancient ancestors for the week of December 6th, or whenever you find this? So what is it that wants to come through? Oh my god, I swear I've never seen this card before. Wow, surrender. Look at how beautiful that card is. Okay, surrender. Surrender to what is. Surrender to what is. What are we surrendering to, guys? What are we surrendering to? third eye chakra, pineal perspective. Okay, we're surrendering to our beliefs and our mind, the way we perceive reality, our perspective, our perception, the way, like learning how to alchemize what it is, how we perceive the world into a whole new way by realizing the truths and the untruths within our mind, within what we've been programmed for. So we're surrendering to that paradigm shift out of that light worker oracle. So that paradigm shift is our mental shift from being trapped in our mind to accessing our heart. Communication, co-creation. Beautiful. So learning how to connect at the heart and co-create with others and to communicate, because that is the heart of communication, is the heart, and co-creation with others in the infinite. And it was reversed, guys. So it was reversed, and so this will be a block for us to really realize our infinite potential. But that's amazing, because that's showing us our limited self, which is our human self, which there's nothing wrong with limiting yourself. It's just like, do you want to stay there or not, right? Like, it's not a bad thing, it just is, right? So how can you learn to surrender your limiting beliefs, to communicate them, to co-create, to realize the power of your mind, to step through the portal, to step through the door that I'm holding open for you, to have all these realizations? I can only hold the door open for you. You're the one that has to walk through it. Okay? And perfect. Awakened awareness, so amazing. And then the balanced forces, which again, perfect way to end this deck too, because this is the masculine and feminine being balanced. So again, more confirmation. So this is why we're being asked to be guided by our intuition these days, especially if you're like losing a job or something like that, because it's like, you know what, you can conform over and over and over again. Heart chakra healing, you can conform over and over and over again, and they're just going to keep taking. So you might as well just figure out the boundary now, right? Because they clearly don't have any boundaries. Unique gifts. And if you're like, well, what the fuck do I do? Tap into your unique gifts. Whatever you're good at, whatever comes natural to you, it's actually something you've worked on in a past lifetime, okay? So you've spent lifetimes already mastering stuff. So why not actually step through that portal into full embodiment and realizing your full potential? Okay, guys, last deck, we have the Sacred Geometry Activation Oracle. Integration. Oh my god, I love it. Like, all the key points come out with the cards. It's just so amazing. Integration. The frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize in a balanced symphony of life. Oh my god. I don't even need to say anything more to that one, because that's just so perfect. Just, we're integrating, we're merging, we're learning, we're growing, we're evolving, right? Into the next phase of awareness and of consciousness and of emotional maturity. Oh, perfect. As I say, emotional maturity, we have heart chakra and change. Our heart chakra is changing. Our perception of love is changing, okay? The heart chakra is a 4 as well, which is all about foundation. So our foundation is going to be built off love moving forward. The frequency of the heart chakra, the green flower of life, supports our capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. Its healing properties harmonize the mind and the body. And then change, which is 12, which is source, by the way. The frequency of change supports our ability to gracefully dance with the forever changing nature of reality, both inward and outward, so that we can appreciate the sweet release of the old and the birth of the new. Birthing reality through our heart, integrating our heart and our mind, both sides of our mind, the left and the right, the creative and the logical, and unifying it and connecting it to our heart, which is source. As I've already said, this is our connection to source, right? And the divine feminine. Oh, it's so perfect. 21. It says the frequency of divine feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all of creation. And then conception. The frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibilities of this space and what we can manifest through our own focused awareness and intention. Oh my God, this is source. Conception is source. The moment that something is conceived, that is source energy. It is infinite potential being embodied. And then we have consciousness and sacral chakra. Okay, so this one gets a little bit heavier. This is our womb. This is all our sexual trauma, our sensual trauma. Feeling, to feel wrong. So we're merging feeling and consciousness right now. We are consciousness embodied, but we haven't had access to feel for a long time. So there's a lot of emotions that are sitting at the surface of your heart being asked to transition, okay? The frequency of transition supports our deep understanding of the ever-changing nature of existence and our lives so that we can learn to let go and surrender to the process and allow transition to occur with ease and grace, okay? The sacral chakra is the frequency of the orange flower of life. It supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. And then consciousness, which is 17, which is an 8, which is infinite. The frequency of consciousness supports our ability to focus our attention on all the multidimensional aspects that show up so that we can include them in our reality. So integration, I'm hearing again with that card. Integration, and then we have the feminine and consciousness, which could be that masculine, feminine, which this represents the feminine, and that's the masculine as well. So again, transitioning to this Kundalini rising energy, which is the activation of our Merkaba, our light body, our spiritual vehicle. And then throat chakra and dynamic. So the frequency of throat chakra, the blue flower life, supports our self-expression and our sense of peace and balance. And then dynamic, the frequency of dynamic supports our ability to harmonize between layers and aspects of different origin and frequency. It helps us to put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. Beautiful, guys. I'm going to end it there. Last thing I'm just being pulled out of me is to mention our attachments to our traumas and what feels comfortable. And when I'm talking about feeling and trusting your feelings, being able to differentiate between our feelings coming from a wounded space of a fear or a lack mentality, and then our feelings coming from love, coming from I want to support you, I want to better you, okay? So as you're going through this process and you're trusting your emotions and you're learning to connect more to your internal guidance system, you can kind of get tricked a little by your feelings, okay? Because not all feelings are true. Feelings are not truth, okay? It is a guidance system. So I just needed to mention that. I needed to bring that up to have that awareness that you can make decisions from a wounded space based on your feelings. For an example, I don't feel good enough. I don't feel good enough, so how am I going to manifest a new job, okay? Just as an example, because that's what the cards were coming through with. So I don't feel good enough, so I can't manifest a new job. I don't feel good enough, so I make this decision to limit myself, right? It's like, so when we make decisions off of I don't feel good enough or I am not enough, I am not worthy, then that's coming from a wounded space. But say you're letting go of your job and you're like, fuck this, I'm empowered, I know what I'm talking about, I'm quitting because this is just not for me, and I know that, and I do not resonate with that, right? So I just needed to bring that awareness just before I hop off so that we can remember that. And then the last card, 8 of Summer, the desire for a more meaningful life, realizing that it's time to move on and choosing to make major life changes. There you go, look at, she's walking into the sunset. away from everything she's ever known, and that's where we're at as a collective, honestly. And I get crazy goosebumps as I say that, because that is we're creating a new earth here right now as we speak, and we don't have a foundation, and we are creating that foundation. So yeah, don't get attached to any false senses of security. Don't get attached to anything, not even non-attachment. That's the funny joke. Yeah, don't get attached to non-attachment either. But anyways, that's all that I have for you guys this week. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope that it brought you some clarity, helped you to realize some things about you. I'm sending you so much love. Come into the shop, Translucent Truth Yoga. We had our grand opening on the weekend, so we're officially open. Our holiday hours are Monday, we are closed. Tuesday to Saturday, we are 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And on Sunday, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. So you can catch me at 1483 Petrolia Line in Petrolia. So guys, I'm sending you so much love. I hope you have the best week. Yeah, there's a lot of change coming up, especially after all those portals that we just went through. We're really integrating, we're really deepening our spiritual connection, so that, and our physical connection as well, and merging them together, integrating. So it is a journey, it is a process. Thank you for walking this path with me. We're all just walking each other home, back to source. All the love. Bye, guys.